Hello and welcome.
Hello there.
How are you doing?
Well, hanging in there. Got a little bit under the weather this week, but
Aw, that's too bad.
yeah, just been relaxing at home. Had some good cuddle time with the cat. So, yeah.
Yeah. All
Hmm.
right. I have not made any plans for this stream yet, other than I know I need to write my devotional that I keep putting off, and then I need to clean the kitchen. But I don't know yet, like I might just do a starter sprint that's just the kitchen and then finish up with just writing.
That's a good way to handle it. Yeah. I have like a ton of editing to do, so if like nothing else gets done today, be that way. I've been having some technology issues at work, so I had to flex some time and take some home with me today. So
Gotcha.
deadlines, but if all goes well, I'll actually be ahead of things, and then I'll be able to get some other projects done later in the week.
Nice. All right.
Right.
So,
Our arms are full at the moment.
of course.
We haven't been able to move for some time now.
So I will, let's see. How long do we want our first sprint to be?
I'm pretty flexible this time.
Okay. Um, I'm gonna say let's maybe just do 30 minutes for the first one because I feel like maybe I can get my kitchen done in that amount of time.
Yeah. Ooh, okay, okay.
All right. Let me get this going. Whoop. And we will whoop, find all my banners. We will get started in three, two, one, and go. And time is up.
All right. Lots of productivity.
Yeah. I ended up finishing the kitchen and had just enough time left to make myself a cup of tea.
Hey, also drinking some tea over here. Ow, breathe. The claws. Watch the claws. Just got it just became a scratching post temporarily. She misfired. She was trying to get the chair and she got me instead. It's very productive. I got through the entire PDF of edits my proofreader had sent back. I'm just waiting for the second proofreader and for my boss to sign off on it and be good to go.
Nice. I have so much writing to do. I've been working on this devotional. The first third of it was when I first had like the spark of the idea and started writing things down and planning things and thinking like, oh yeah, this is going to be so easy. And I wrote like several days worth of the devotional plus planned the entire rest of it and all of that. And I'm like, I'm going to get this done in like this evening and then publish it tonight. And then I went back in I ran out of time that day, went back in the next time and was like, actually I got through one day. I think the initial momentum kind of went away, so my brain now does not want to engage with it any further. So it's going to be more of a slog to get through the rest of it. But I'm going to keep focusing on it during at least my streams, if not, other times if I have free time. But I'm hoping to get it done this month, though, because I want to be able to release it before Mother's Day.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Hey, Palavuni.
Hello.
And yes, I am working on writing. I am writing a devotional on the Proverbs 31 woman. Something I've had in my mind to write for a while, and I'm gonna actually do it. And it's. I was just talking about how it was supposed to be a really quick project, and now it's kind of gotten a little bit longer. But it should be a faster turnaround than any of my other writing projects because I'm just gonna publish it on Amazon, like KDP, and be done with the matter.
Sometimes it's nice to have one or two projects like that. You just control the process. Maybe it doesn't initially get a lot of visibility, but you've got one under your belt that you can refer to as a completed project.
Right. Yeah, having something done is going to be nice, and then having some amount of passive income from it would be amazing. And that's why I want to get it done by Mother's Day, because I feel like Mother's Day is going to be a good time for people wanting a Proverbs 31 devotional.
Yeah, definitely.
Because after that, it's like, let's see, what's even after Mother's Day? I feel like it's gonna not be until like the winter holiday season before anyone's looking for devotionals again.
Yeah, I'm wondering if there's some other outlets that you could sell it at.
I'm not sure, but I know I'd have to look into what would be allowed when I'm publishing on KDP, because I know there's like there might be issues with like resales, or if I sell through a different company that it prints on demand from Amazon, so it's like I can't like buy it my own copy and sell it to somebody else, if that makes sense.
I haven't read the latest KDP rules, but back when it was CreateSpace, I believe you're allowed to buy several of your own copies to sell at book fairs or such. Like there's an author event that I took several copies to.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to look into that because I would obviously love to do that. And especially like if I find Christian bookstores or anything like that that might want to have something like that.
Yeah. I say there was a local bookstore. I was in Indianapolis on Sunday and just traveling with friends, and just stopped by a smallish bookstore. I wish I could remember. I think it might even been called Indie Reads. I think that was the name of it. Yeah, I stopped in there and it had everything from like new books to like local author stuff. So just depending on the bookstore, it probably won't be like a big chain or anything. But if you find a
Yeah.
standalone bookstore that isn't part of a chain, they might be more open to selling some stuff from a local author.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I definitely want to look into all that. I mean, just having something published in general is going to be nice. And then I know there's a way to run like Amazon ads to like for promotions,
Yeah,
but I'd want to probably save that for like high seasons of selling devotionals and not like all the time when people aren't really looking for them.
yeah,
Just like
totally.
the holidays, around New Year's when people are starting, resolutions and stuff. Um, Easter, Mother's Day. I'm trying to think of when else people are looking for stuff like that. There's potential for springtime in general, just because like a lot of ladies have their groups and like get-togethers and things and group Bible studies and whatever. So it might be something
Yeah,
people are looking for.
it could be something that I don't know how one would find these, but if there's a way to find a listing in the community of like ladies' Bible study groups or something like that, obviously don't want to like go overboard with the marketing because churches typically provide free items, but it's very possible that they might have an event where they're doing a book reading, and if you get it in the hands of whoever's leading the study as an
Yeah,
example, it's like what's available. She might be willing to forward that.
that's true. And I know our church has that page for
Mhm.
promoting your own like businesses and crafts and stuff. So that
Yeah,
could be potentially somewhere to market it.
yeah, definitely.
But yeah, so lots of writing to
Hmm.
do. I've made it through 10 of the 30 pages. Or pages, I mean like days because it's a
Yeah.
30-day thing. But I have like other pages of like an intro and stuff like that. But I've made it through the 10 days and I'm on to like my second section because each
Ooh,
there's like 3 sections.
that's awesome. The progress there.
Yeah. At some point, I'm gonna have to show you, like, share the link with you so that you can see if it makes any sense or if there's any total nonsense in there, but
I'm sure it'll make lots of sense. Yeah.
yeah. Alright. Um, do we want to do, like, roll the dice for times or do set times? Like, I don't know what you still have to do if there's, like, a specific time period that would be good.
Yeah, I'm flexible. Probably don't want to do anything too much longer than half an hour today. Just my focus a little lower,
Okay. Sure.
fighting some of the health things back, charging up on vitamin C, trying to stay sane.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Figure out what I've got going on here.
Do I see a bear? I see a little bear. Here, come back.
I'm probably gonna do some time between 30 and 20
Okay.
and then I'll roll for like the 1 and 2 or for 30,
Yeah,
34, 25 and then 5 and 6 of 20.
sounds pretty good.
All right. 6. We've got a 20-minute sprint.
All right. Awesome.
I will see if I can get through one day of this
Yay.
thing. And let me get my timer set up here. Boop. And we'll get started in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And time is up.
Got a lot done.
Nice. I got 2 days almost done. I'm just like finishing this last sentence here.
Yay!
Alright, and done.
Yay!
Made it through day 12. Whew. Oof, man, my back is sore. I don't know if I just I was gonna say I don't know if I slept weird or what, but I just remembered we had a pretty full day of physical activity yesterday. Like I ended up taking the baby out shopping, which was a lot of carrying her and lifting her and all of that, plus then came home and mopped our floor and did a lot of like moving chairs and things, which is not stuff my back is accustomed to. So I guess it makes sense that my back is a little sore.
That's fair.
Yeah, we ended up making like a chore chart because we just kept drowning in all of the work that we need to get done and not having enough free time to get it all done. But I feel like splitting the work up and assigning it on certain days to certain people, and then it makes it, even though it's like a lot of work, and it's like I'm trying to think of the best way to describe it. When you're just when nothing's planned and you're looking ahead of you and there's a mountain of work to get done, you don't go very far before you really run out of steam.
Yep.
But if you like a little bit further than that is your goal for the day and that's all you actually have to get done, then it's easier to go that little extra bit to get that done.
Totally. And it's just sort of the relief of like if it's not your day to work on something, you don't have to think about it.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got a lot of chores that are just kind of falling to me or to Steven based on like physical ability. 'Cause it's like I'm not gonna be mowing the lawn and I'm not gonna be, doing a lot of physical heavy lifting stuff as much. So I'm trying to take a lot of the easier stuff as just like my default chore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Made this like pretty color coded um chore chart and everything of all of the days on a it's like on a 4-week repeating schedule. It doesn't fit perfectly into months because, every month isn't going to start on a Sunday and go across. So we're just doing 4 weeks repeating.
Yeah. It's a pretty good way to handle it.
And oh man, it was like a couple hours of writing down every possible chore we could think of that ever needs done in a house and then splitting that up into, is that a daily task? Is it a weekly task, bi-weekly, monthly, quarterly, you know? Um, and then figuring out, okay, if we're doing this every month, then we could do um like I could schedule in like, okay, so on one of these 4 weeks, we'll schedule this monthly task and then we'll choose a different week for a different monthly task so it's not all, being done at the same time and making it harder.
Yeah, I did some stuff with that, like through my to-do list app, and then I got bored of the to-do list app, and a lot of these tasks have migrated into Finch, which honestly, at this point, it's become more of a to-do list than a mental health and wellness app,
Yeah.
and I felt like, "Uh-oh, oops, what have I done?" Because the whole point of having a mental health and wellness sort of app is supposed to be helping with that, not adding stress.
Yeah.
So this past weekend, I just sat down with my Finch app and I'm just like, nope. If it sounds too task oriented, I've just been removing it. I've left more things that maybe are a little task oriented, but they're definitely tied to health, like drinking water, which some
Right.
people don't remember to do.
Yeah. I've actually thought about like I need to make a I say I need to. I'm not going to because I don't know how and I'm not gonna pursue it probably, but there needs to be an app that it's like timer-based app for water drinking. And because like I am not a person that can just have a water bottle and like sip from it throughout the day. Like I won't do it. And it's just not something that will work for me. So I have to drink my fluids through like 12-ounce bursts at a time. And it's like, okay, I'm going to get this one 12-ounce drink and then I'm going to slam it right now. And this is the time that I drink my drink. So it's like, okay, so if I've calculated out that like 6 or 7 of those drinks is kind of my average goal. So throughout the day from when I get up in the morning to when I go to bed, like these intervals of when I'm going to have my drinks. And now imagine you've got a timer that goes off at those times. And
Yeah.
but they don't go off until you've had the drink.
Hmm.
So there it could be like maybe give you a reminder like a little bit before that time that it's like, "Oh, time to get your next drink." And then when that time comes, it's like, "Oh, you better drink it now or else this is not turning off."
That would be great.
Although to be honest, I would probably get really annoyed with an app like that as well and just stop using it. But I need something like that.
I had one where you water plants, and it was honestly depressing because I don't drink enough water and the plants kept dying.
Oh.
Speaking of plants, I almost forgot to water my real plants today. I'm still getting into the habit of remembering that I have 4 tomato plants and a blackberry plant depending on me for their lives.
Yeah.
They don't scream for food the way cats will if you don't feed them right away, so
What?
it can be a little bit hard to remember, unfortunately.
My grandpa used to have this whole system set up in his sunroom that he would have like automatic plant watering systems on a timer and like he had these tomato plants on his shelf and they're year round that would just continue to grow because it was like climate controlled inside the house just in
Ooh.
his sunroom. And I everyone was just like, "Oh yeah, are your tomatoes dying yet?" And he's like, "No, because they're getting watered and they're fine." He just kept getting tomatoes.
That's awesome.
I feel like I would have to figure something out like that out if I was ever to intentionally grow plants. It's like we get given plants and then they die.
Ah, yeah.
Um, not with, not like we aren't trying.
Mhm.
We
Not
just
actively trying to
not
live.
plant people.
Yeah, I will say that there's some I've discovered can mind themselves a lot better than others. Like tomatoes can spring back surprisingly well after not being watered.
Maybe for some. My parents are there's this whole thing years ago where we tried to grow tomatoes. And it was very likely because of the climate we lived in.
Yeah.
It's, West Coast and in the area we were in was very cold at night.
Mm.
And so, pretty late into spring we would still get uh frozen nights and like stuff would frost over. and then fall would come way too soon and it would happen again. So it's like it would start warming up and we'd plant the tomatoes and then it would get really cold and they'd die.
Oh,
So yeah, tomatoes are not for everybody.
I grew up growing tomatoes with my parents, though, so I have a little bit of experience from that. Other plants, if I branch out into new things, that doesn't usually do so well. So I feel like the blackberry plant might be a wasted investment as far as I'm concerned. But I don't know. We'll see.
I love the idea of having something like blackberries that you've grown yourself or whatever, or like a fruit tree or
Yeah.
something like that would be fun. I keep seeing this girl on, I think she's mostly on TikTok, but I think I've seen her on Facebook Reels and stuff too. But she does like foraging stuff and she'll talk
Mm,
about like different edible plants. And she lives in Ohio, so a lot of them are kind of in our area. So she'll be like, "Oh
yeah.
yeah, I picked these black walnuts off the ground," and then she can like tap the trees and get like black walnut syrup
Oh, wow.
and like all of this stuff that she'll do. And it's just like I want all of the goodies, but I don't want to go and forage. I'm not a person to go and forage.
Hey, when your kid becomes old enough, they just the strategy is just train the kid to do it.
Send
Like,
her out to find all the
free
things.
babysitting, no TV and screens. You get
Right.
some nice fruits out of it. What it might be taxed by the kid at the time, like they eat them as they go. There'll probably still be a few left over, and it's a fun nature project.
Yeah. All right. We ready for another sprint? We have got a 30-minute sprint.
All right.
Get this set up to 30 minutes. And we'll get started in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And time is up.
All right, that was pretty productive.
I got another 2 pages done.
Hey! Of course, just about a minute or so after the timer started, Cat jumps into my arms, and I'm like, well, I can't do much. But then I thought about it, and it's like, I have a phone. I could listen to my audiobook, could make some progress on that.
There you
So
go.
made some progress there. I sorted my emails, so yeah.
Nice.
Any way to keep going.
Yeah. I am thinking I should probably do a sprint that is a break from writing and maybe listen to my audiobook.
Oh, little bug.
Oh,
She is very affectionate today. She keeps jumping into my arms.
oh.
She was so sweet. Earlier, I was trying to take a nap, and I was lying on my side, and she climbed onto my side and sat there, and was just being absolutely precious, instantly purring. And then she reaches her paw down to pat my cheek, and slowly it like moves, and then she's covering my mouth with her paw, like I'm not allowed to speak.
Oh man, it just gave me this memory of back when my grandma was alive. She used to have this puppy, and she did not want my grandma to use the computer. I don't know what it was, but anytime she was on the computer, if she reached for the mouse, the dog would jump up onto the bed behind her and like bat at her arm. And like it was only if she would like reach forward for the mouse, she would be like, no. It was so funny.
Maybe I need to adopt a dog like that. It'll keep me from spending too much time on a screen. Bree will sometimes slap my phone down if I'm on it for too long, though, so I do have a version of that.
There you go.
Like, Bree, are you jealous of
So,
the phone?
so what are you reading at the moment?
So I am finally, after all these years, making it through a series of unfortunate events.
I never did finish that, but I've read a few of the books. I'm slowly collecting the series because I want to just, I think I might finally have all of them over the past like couple of years. I think I might have gotten the last ones. I'll have to check. But it's like I wanted to have them all before I start the series.
Yeah, I'm doing the audiobook version because realistically, I don't have time to sit down and read physical books a lot of the time. But
Honestly, same. Like in my dream life, I have all of the time in the world to just read books, but I really audiobooks are kind of the only way I read these days.
yeah, I've got so many, even on just my audiobook list. Although my hopes are that as my next productive thing, I'll probably just do some physical book reading. It's about
Mm,
time.
yeah. I am currently reading. Oh my goodness, what is the name? I have to see what it's called. It's called Once Upon a Broken Heart.
Ooh.
It's a um sort of dark fantasy gothic romance kind of a thing.
Ooh.
So yeah, it's centered around it's in the same universe as a different book series that I read by Stephanie Garber. Um I think I yeah, Garber I think is right. Um but the series I can't remember if the series is called that or if it's just the first book is called Caraval or
Ooh.
Caraval. And I found it fascinating. It's been a long time since I read that series, and so I went into this kind of half blind because I'd forgotten a lot about the series, and so I'm kind of like remembering bits and pieces, and I keep hearing things that are like definitely a reference to the book before, and I'm like, oh, I think I kind of remember who that is. But I mean, obviously the main character doesn't know who anything is because she's like a new main character. So, but yeah, enjoying it so far. But yeah, the basic idea of this one is that there's these um sort of immortal beings called the Fates, and they're all like different characters, and they'd have like different powers and things like that. And this one fate supposedly is like doomed to anyone he kisses will die until he finds his true love. And so it's this like heartbreak of existence for him. And so like the main character is like in love with somebody else and is trying to get his help. And so, you know, obviously they're gonna fall in love. I just don't know how yet. But yeah. Seems very interesting premise.
Ooh, yeah. After finishing Series of Unfortunate Events, I've got a whole bunch of other things stacked up, but I rediscovered my local library. I mean, I know that it sounds silly because I'm so close to it, but there was so much construction going on the road that
Yeah, that's true.
I don't want to navigate over there right now. And then the
Yeah.
other day, I just was like, you know what? What if I actually went to the library? Because I've spent so much money on books lately that it would be very nice if some of the ones that I was looking for were actually at the library, because I only tend to read them once.
Yeah. Yeah, I always like going to the library, and I could just spend hours there looking at books and deciding what I want to bring home, and then I get home and don't have time to read anything. Haven't gone in a long time. I used to go every so often because my work has like a book club that
Ooh.
kind of that they meet at lunchtime once a month. And a couple of the first books in the series that they were doing, I couldn't get an audiobook version, and so I had to like go and pick up a physical copy. But ended up picking up a few extra books and then like speed reading them way later into the night than I should, just to get through them.
Yeah, I use it for things that are too expensive. Like, for instance, I was obsessed with Star Wars Rebels, and I just recently learned that they have a manga version of it, which blew my mind because Star Wars doesn't usually lean into that very much. But yeah, it's just like favorite characters and such. So I was like, okay. A friend bought me one, but I only have volume one, and just like I'm not going to break bank and buy more until I find them on some kind of discount or whatever. But I found book 2 at the library, so I was like, yes,
Nice.
free to read from the library. Well, ultimately, it would be fun to collect them all. It's like, will I? Will I not? So my shelves are ready to the point where I'm gonna have to buy more shelves very soon.
Yeah. I know I've been obsessed with the Libby app. I don't know if you use that much,
Yeah,
but
that one's my go-to. I've
yeah.
used Hoopla was one of the apps my library used for a while too. So I used to use that one more, but it has limits on borrows and such. So
Gotcha. Yeah, I have Hoopla. I ended up using that for one of the book club books. I could not think of the word because it wasn't available on Libby, and I couldn't get a physical copy either, so I had to find an ebook on Hoopla.
I'll say Hoopla, it does have some very limited range of, but still it does have some movies and has some music. So it does expand the library a little bit. I haven't found a ton in the way of movies that I've watched on that, but it can be very good if something's like, I don't know, just need something to kill some time that you don't want to pay a lot of attention to. Every once in a while, it's a really good one. Like it has Quest for Camelot on that one. That's how I discovered that movie.
Oh, really? I remember being in college and Netflix was, I was just constantly on Netflix because I would be driving up half an hour to my college campus, and then I'd have classes in the morning and then huge breaks of time and then like night classes.
Oh
And
yeah.
so I would just be sitting there. I wouldn't have all that much homework to do, and then I would just sit and campus watching Netflix for hours, like trying to find new things to watch. And at that time, there was actual decent stuff to watch on Netflix outside of their like 3 ongoing series at the time. Nowadays, like everything good has been taken off Netflix, and they keep canceling everything.
There was like 1 or 2 things that are on Netflix that I actually want to watch sometime, but I can't. Like, yeah, I've never had the draw to sign up for Netflix because
Yeah,
really
as soon as they
anything-
stopped, like the account sharing, I kind of lost access to it because I was just on my parents.
yeah.
Um, so I have not seen anything on Netflix in quite a while. We had to actually buy physical copies of Stranger Things to watch. But yeah, it's like there's a few things that I would like to watch on Netflix, and I would love to get, to pay for that again, but I would, I'd rather have enough money to afford that.
Ooh.
Oh, hi, Mom.
Hello.
Intentionally unproductive. Gotcha. Mm.
If my cat had had anything to do with it, I would have been unproductive all day long.
Oh, yeah.
She was on a mission.
I had a crazy work day of first I had an update for Adobe Acrobat Reader that then made Adobe Acrobat Reader not work very well afterward until I restarted. And that is the primary program that I use. And then everything kept crashing and I had to restart, and then that took a lot out of my day. And then yeah, after that, the ad that I was checking, a ton of issues kept popping up, and there was a lot of UPCs that they didn't give me to check, and it was just stress city.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got off work and got to play with the baby, and then got to lay down in bed for a little bit while she laid down, but then she did not go to sleep, so I got to get back up and play with the baby. I am working on writing, and I was cleaning the kitchen, but I'm done with that now. So mostly writing.
Similar, mostly editing free.
No, I used to work retail, and now now I'm working like corporate for a grocery store, so it's like retail adjacent, I guess, but I am editing the grocery ads.
And we used to work for the same company, but I did end up taking an offer elsewhere as an editor.
Yeah, retail is not for me any longer. I spent
got a lot
7
of
years in
stories.
retail. Yeah, there's aside from the awful stories, it was just really wearing down my body. Like I could not keep that up for much longer. Bye, Mom.
Bye. Yeah, sorry, there's a ton of writing and editing.
Yeah. Although it's a very different sort of editing, I feel.
Yeah,
It's like for me the work is just looking at prices and comparing it to like the pricing system just to make sure that the price is going to match and be on sale at the right time. But yeah, it's a lot of just mindless kind of looking back and forth and copying and pasting and making sure things line up. So very, very tedious versus, writing for leisure is a lot more I get to actually write fun things, and then although editing could be even more tedious because then I don't want to destroy what I've written, but also I don't like what I've written. so, so editing is just like, no, thank you. I'll just have a draft. That'll be fine. Then it will just sit in my laptop for years.
Now, there's kind of a work-life balance with doing writing, editing for work and leisure. Like, my work is very much nonfiction writing and editing, so I'm able to enjoy the fiction outside of work more. Um, and editing kind of, for me, includes other things too, like graphic design and print layout and such. So I am still able to save a lot of the creative sector of my writing for leisure. And that was something that I definitely considered when getting to a job. Like, am I going to burn out? Am I never going to be able to enjoy writing, editing again? But they've kept a pretty good work life divide between the two.
Yeah. I know I took a break from writing for a lot of years just because, not that I was doing a lot of writing for work, but I was so burnt out that I could not get my mind to engage in anything creative. I didn't want to think. So work-life balance is definitely important. It's important to do leisure activities that feel like leisure.
Oh, yes. I will say I've done a ton more reading, watching movies, absorbing various media than actually producing anything in recent days. But I
Mhm.
tell myself it's research, it's
Yeah, it's
understanding my
research.
genre a little bit better.
And honestly, it's true because, even if you aren't taking direct inspiration from whatever it is you're reading, hearing things described in different ways and hearing different types of language and prose and, how um, different authors write is really helpful for getting your mind into that mode of being
Yeah,
creative.
oh, absolutely. Yeah. And I think when I was younger, I used to come up with ideas that were very, very generic sort of writing ideas because I hadn't read widely enough to know what's actually been done or how other people have handled that type of thing. And I mean, it's not all about like comparison with others. Like, obviously, there's some tropes that will never grow old, like
Mhm. And
enemies.
honestly, even if your concept of your story is similar to something that already exists, chances are they read it because they like it and they'll want to read something else that's like it because it's something that they like.
Yeah. But to me, it's helpful to know what is popular, what has worked before, and how I can write a twist on that or
Yeah.
something that will stand out as creative. Because if everybody's done their own, say, knockoff version of the Hunger Games, like we don't need just one more of those. But if you can think of like an inventive way to do it, like put it in a completely different time era, or like something that doesn't feel like the same thing, just repackaged.
Mhm. Yeah. I just read a book recently that was I yes recently being like yesterday. That was it completely blew me away with because I was not expecting how it ended up being at all. But it made me think of you at first because it's a retelling of the 12 Dancing Princesses,
Ooh.
but it's like gothic mystery romance horror kind of a deal.
Oh, wow, that is different. What do you remember what's the name of this one?
It's called House of Salt and Sorrow.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to look this one up because that is my
Yes.
favorite fairy tale, is Dancing Princesses.
Yes. And it's like I will say it gets kind of dark, but
Okay.
it's clean romance and it's fascinating. It goes
Ooh,
into there's a lot of world building and like their this, country's lore and their religious system and all of this and the how the magic system works and everything is really fascinating.
ooh, fascinating, yeah. Looking at the description here as well. Ooh, yeah. To get this one to read.
It was pretty good.
Also on my reading list right now is I did just go yesterday to an IMAX theater to see Project Hail Mary, and now I desperately want to read the book. So my friends are like really obsessed with this. It's a sci-fi. Well, have
Sounds
you heard of
familiar, but I don't know anything
it?
about it.
Yeah, it's a sci-fi film. Basically, this guy wakes up in a spaceship and he has to figure out, okay, what's this all about? And as his memories come back to him of what went down, he has to figure out a way to save Earth.
Oh,
It's
interesting.
highly probable he won't be able to make the return journey home. Yeah, I won't say too many spoilers, but like very high stakes space situation, but also really a heartwarming film
I see.
and
That sounds
sad
actually
all
interesting.
the
I'm
same.
not usually into as much sci-fi. Like, there's some sci-fi that I like, but that actually does sound like something I'd be interested in.
Yeah, I think you would like it's a sci-fi film that I think will appeal to people that aren't really into sci-fi. Because yes,
Mhm.
there's some moments where they really get into the technical, like, "Ooh, this type of substance that makes this type of technology," and but then there's funny and laughable moments, and then there's the very real,
Fear and, like,
dark
high stakes
setting of,
and
like, yeah, high stakes, dark,
impending doom.
potentially dystopian future of Earth if he doesn't solve this problem, and yeah,
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I just now saw this, but yeah, there's only so many tropes that can
yeah,
exist,
it
for
is
sure.
true.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what I was gonna say. Oh, it was just about the House of Salt and Sorrow. It very much plays with your head
Ooh.
because it's a lot of, like, melding, like, reality with, like, hallucination and, like, what is real and what isn't kind of thing as you're, like, trying to figure this out. So it gets, like, really psychological, and you're trying to figure out who do you trust and what's real.
That would be really cool to read, yeah.
Trying to think of what else is on my list to read. There's another book in that series that I have on hold, so I'm excited to read that. And then the one I'm currently reading has, I think, a sequel, but I think that's. Oh, I do have a few other holds. Mm. Got a few others that are on hold. There's one that's called Once Upon a Prince. I have nothing, it sounded interesting. It's part of the Royal Wedding series. I don't know. It seems maybe kind of cheesy, but give it a try. I've been really into um trying to find good, like, clean romance that
Yeah.
doesn't just kind of flashbang you in the middle with, like, oh, okay. Because I'll pick this book and it's got the sweetest looking cover and it's all about how, oh, I'm going to go and live and work in a cute little town at the coffee shop. And then I get like 75 of the way, percent of the way through the book. And then it's like, oh, wow.
Yeah. It's
Which
like,
is like,
there should have been warning signs. But no.
yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's like, if people are gonna read that, then that's their prerogative, but that is not my choice to
Yeah,
read
that's
that.
fair. I feel like they should do ratings on books like they do for movies. That way you at least have some idea what you're walking into.
Yeah,
I think that would be totally fair. And
I
then
agree.
if people still want to read an explicit book, then well, that they know what they're getting into. But you also don't recommend this book to like a high school kid. Um,
Right.
so it offers some level of assurance of what you're getting into.
Mhm. 'Cause it's not like seeing a rating on a movie is gonna make me not wanna see the movie if, that's the kind of movie I'm trying to watch.
Mhm.
Like, if I see that a movie's rated R, then it's like, okay, well, now I have to decide, like, why is it rated R, and is that something that I wanna watch or not?
Yeah, I like when it gives the breakdown. Like I'm not really as bothered by seeing blood in like a war movie or whatever. Like the sight of blood doesn't scare me that much in a
Same.
film, especially if you're going for realism, like some terrible war is going down. Like I would almost rather than that than the comedy of like Star Wars level violence where no one draws blood, it's just, like, flashing lightsabers. But Star Wars has a special place in my heart. I love that one. It fits that universe, but for another universe where you're using actual blades, like, it doesn't make sense if no blood appears. So, yeah, the making sense part of me overweighs the, like, "Oh, I don't want to see blood," when it comes to that.
Yeah.
But I also understand that I have many friends that are, like, really sensitive to seeing that, and, like, some
Right.
warning would be very nice.
Yeah, and there's a lot of just things that, like, I feel like especially with books that you might add in as trigger warnings or something more than you might with movies, but, like, some people have triggers with, like, death of a pet or, things like that that they just don't wanna read, and it's like it's hard to say how to exactly structure a warning system for something like that without spoiling anything,
Yeah. It
but
reminds me of a book that one of my friends told me about. Just this kid's book about a dog, and it was called Loveliness. And it was this cute little story about a dog, and then suddenly the dog goes missing, and it gets taken by some lab, and horrible experiments are performed on it, and all these terrible stuff goes down. And like she's reading through this book, she's like, "This is a children's book. This is like scarring for life." Like
that's horrible.
horrible dystopian tale, and then I think the dog does finally get free to reunite with the little girl, but, like, so much trauma has been gone through at this point, you're sitting there
Yeah.
like, "What kind of a book title is this?" Some warning would have been good, like, maybe it's a cautionary tale about don't let your dog run around outside, untended,
I
but
guess.
I for a children's book, it's a little intense.
Man, I just recently finished a book. I pushed myself through it because I don't just abandon books lightly. I the tism in me is too dedicated to finishing whatever I start to just abandon a partially read book. Um,
Yes.
but I realized very soon that this book was extremely dark,
Mm,
and it seemed like, oh, it's a mystery and it's kind of like there's a serial killer mystery kind of a deal. Realized it was extremely graphic and violent and scary and intense. And I was just like, oh man, from the description, like I would not have expected this.
yeah.
And this could be scarring for somebody who was not ready for it. And it's like I pushed through and I was okay, but it was real dark.
Yeah. Ooh. I definitely feel that, some warnings would be in order for some of this, but I feel that it kind of depends on the setting with some of these things too, like, I'm willing to accept more darkness if it's a mystery and you know that the
Yeah.
detectives are going to win, like, it depends on the genre, but if it gets darker and darker and it has no hope in sight, I sometimes just, like, I can't keep going, like, I'll read a summary perhaps online, it's not the same, but there's only been a few times that it's gotten so extreme I've had to do something like that, but
Mhm.
when it happens and, like yeah, I have to have some
Yeah.
kind of closure, I have to know what happened, and sometimes I just have to make an alternate version in my own mind of how it should have ended and just live with that false hope.
Yeah. There's been a couple books that I kind of DNF'd just because I didn't have the time to actually read them at the time, and it's like I started them and thought, "Okay, this is actually pretty heady, and I don't have the brain for it right now, and I'm just not gonna spend the time to finish it. Maybe I'll read it later." It's not like I don't like this, I'm gonna not finish it, but it just didn't get finished.
Yeah,
But yeah.
that's that's definitely a few things. There I want to say there's maybe like 3 or 4 books on my Goodreads that are in progress that I just haven't finished, that I keep saying I'm gonna come back to, but
Mm,
most of that's just because I don't even flag a book as on my radar until I'm done with it. I have a higher
mm,
success rate that way.
yeah. All right. Well, let's do another sprint.
Okay.
I'm gonna have this one be a reading sprint.
Ooh, yay! I'm gonna go get a book. Oh, let's see if I can make sure my
And
cat.
it's 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
So I'm gonna get this.
Okay. And to make sure that both the cats were in before I closed the door.
Get started in 3, 2, 1, go. And time is up.
Got really comfy there. Made a lot of progress.
Nice. I made it through, I think, a couple of chapters.
Cool.
Got to the point of some potential plot twist stuff going on, so
Ooh.
that was exciting. Now I've got to decide if I want to do any more writing sprints or if I just actually want to finish this book. But hey, reading feeds writing creativity, so
Exactly. That's how I see it.
yeah.
It just got so cold in here suddenly.
Oh yeah. This weather has been insane lately. It's been like ridiculously hot for a few days and then it gets to 40 like overnight.
There's
Like
no rhyme or
impossible to
reason.
keep up with. For a few days, like we had to have the ceiling fan on in the bedroom just to be able to fall asleep because it was so
Wow.
stuffy and hot in there. And now it's like, well, now it's cold. So I also don't like that. I think the weather should always be medium.
Yes.
Yes.
I like.
It's like I would be happy with a range of medium where it gets like a little bit on the chilly side where you have to wear a sweater and then a little on the warm side where you have to wear shorts. But otherwise,
Yeah, no
medium.
extremes. You can get snow at a nice, reasonable temperature.
Yes.
So you don't freeze your hands.
Right?
And
That
enjoy
would be
beach at a
lovely.
nice, reasonable temperature where you don't get burned to a crisp.
Yes. See, I always like the Oregon coast because it would be in like the 50s or 60s and you could walk out in shorts and it's not too hot or it's not too cold, but you could also wear a hoodie and it's not too hot, it's just like a very comfortable temperature.
Yeah.
It did rain a lot, which was a little unfortunate, but you're also at the beach and so you're kind of expecting to get wet in the first place.
It kind of comes with the territory. Yep.
Yeah. I miss going to the beach. I didn't go all that often. It was kind of like a once a year thing because the area I was in was like 3 hours away from any beach. But I like to try and plan a trip at least once a year.
Yeah, I'll have to fit in some beach this year for sure. I kind of let it slip by the wayside last year.
Mm,
It's just like every weekend gets claimed.
yeah. I'm so curious how the baby would react to the beach.
Ooh.
It's like, I don't know when we'll have a chance to bring her. We were gonna go to Ocean City for the feast this year, but then that's not actually happening this year. So we're going somewhere else. But it's like we could have potentially shown her the ocean, but
Oh, you got some other thoughts on where?
yeah, we're looking at Pennsylvania.
Okay.
So excited about that. I looked into some of the stuff there and it looks like there's a lot of things to do that are kid friendly.
Oh yeah, definitely. I went some years ago. I guess I was not a kid at the time. I was a teenager, but there's still a lot of fun things, and some of them would have been even more fun if I was younger. Like we went to the Hershey chocolate factory, and some of it at that age, like it
Yeah.
kind of aged
I
out. The
I
kiddie
have
stuff.
seen about the Hershey Chocolate Factory, and that does sound fun. There's also some sort of like amusement park that seems to have a lot of like kiddie rides and things that little bitty kids can do.
That sounds
So that's
perfect.
exciting. And some that like they can ride with a parent. So like the oh my goodness, carousel.
Oh
Like there's like
yes, yeah.
that looks like it might be fun for her. Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, that'd be pretty great.
I'm excited to just have an entire week where I don't have to work and can also do fun things.
Yes.
Although, you know,
Those.
undoubtedly we will still be sleep deprived and exhausted just from having to go to church every day and get a baby dressed and ready for services and all of that. But yeah. Be curious how she is, because that'll be months from now. She'll be almost 2.
Whoa.
It's crazy. I cannot imagine her being 2. It's like still hard to imagine that she's 1 and she's almost 1.5.
It's crazy how quickly they grow.
Time is crazy fast. I was thinking about this earlier, like in the week, how it's like, you know, when you're a kid, your entire existence has been your childhood. So that's like the longest amount of time you can fathom. So growing up, your childhood feels like it takes a million years to get through. But now, as an adult, I've basically doubled the time that I've been that I was a child, and the second half feels like it happened in like 3 years. So it's like, okay, how fast is that going to happen to our daughter? Because in her mind, it's going to be this eternity of growing up and being a child. And for us, it's like, oh, well, you know, that was 15 minutes. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Trying to decide if I'm up for another sprint or if I'm just tired and want to curl up in bed and read.
Could be another
Slash
reading sprint.
listen. It could be.
Frankly, at this point, that's all I have energy for, probably. So,
Yeah. Maybe we'll do one more reading sprint and then we'll call it a night.
yeah, sounds good.
Okay. Let's see. I will finish this book another time. Six.
Hey.
That is 20 minutes.
All right.
Let's see. 20. And go. And time is up.
All right. Oops. Finished this one. Nice quick read.
I keep forgetting that I don't have the correct headphones on because I'm like switching to my earbuds for the audiobook, and then I start talking and then your mouth starts moving and it's like, oh wait, I don't hear anything.
I was able to get one more book in on the Goodreads and put in some more words of listening towards the audiobook, so
Nice.
progress. I have the really audacious goal of trying to read 100 books this year. I've never succeeded. I've had this goal several years in a row. I got really close one year and then I got sick, and so I was like listening to audiobooks and like sliding in and out of sleep, and it was like inching closer and closer to the new year. I remember it was the last day of December. I was just like playing everything on 2 times or 2.5 times speed, desperately trying to meet the goal. And I think I fell asleep before the clock struck midnight, so I was like 2 books short. I was reading like short children's books at this point. So I'm not letting that happen this year. Allowing myself a little bit of mercy on what I can count. I can count shorter things since it's just what I'm going to end up doing at the end of the year. So
Yeah. I'm looking at my Libby timeline to see how many books I've read so far this year to see, you know, would that be possible for me? Let's see. Skipping those ones because I haven't finished that one and I haven't read that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've read 10 so far. So I tend to go in like spurts of like, let's see, I read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6 of those in January. So, and then I kind of took a little bit of a break, and now I read, I think, 1 in February, and then 1 in March, and now April I've already read 2, and I've got 2 more, you know, one I'm working on and another one on the way. So it's like,
oh, cool.
It kind of depends on how many spurts of reading a lot of books I get in, but I could potentially do 100 books this year. I don't know.
I've done 23 so far this year, but I mean, I am counting things like reading this manga that I just finished right now. So I know it's a lot shorter read, but then I have a lot longer
Hey, it
books as
counts.
well. So yeah. It
Now,
varies.
the question is, do I count all of the board books that I read for Evelyn?
I mean, that's totally your call. I mean, if you're reading the same ones multiple times and not counting it each time, I feel like it adds up in length.
Yeah, that's true. There's only so many times that you can read Sheep in a Jeep. But it just
Jeep for sale. Cheap.
Cheap. Yep.
It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I just realized I have 2 copies of the Foot book. I realized that the other day.
The Foot book?
It's a Dr. Seuss book. Let's see.
Oh.
But this was one of my very favorite books as a child. I was just thinking about it the other day because I was having a problem with my feet swelling. I was standing on them too often, not having enough water, so I was having a weird water retention problem. But it reminded me of the phrase from this book. Let's see if I can find it. Up in the air, feet. Over a chair, feet. My feet up.
Yes. Perfect. Oh, that just reminded me. It'd be really funny to have just like Dr. Seuss and or other, you know, popular authors, just lines for everyday situations. And it reminded me that there's a website that you can search any for like word or phrase in this website's like search bar, and it will pull up any movie that has that line in it. And so you can just like get a clip from a movie of somebody saying that line. So it's like the meme possibilities
Ooh,
are endless.
That's wonderful.
I have to remember what the website is or look into that, but I know it exists, and so I feel like that would be really funny to use for something.
It has a lot of possibilities.
All right. Well, it is 11:20, and I am
Yes.
sleepy. So probably gonna have to end things here. But let me look at my calendar before I commit to doing a stream next week. Okay. Looks like we are free. So I should be able to stream again next week at the same time. With hopefully more people that show up. Because it was nice to have one person, well, two, counting my mother. She definitely counts as a person, but she wasn't there for the whole thing. Does my mother count?
Well, she wasn't here for the productivity, so
Yeah, she was just saying
depends
hi.
how we're counting it.
Yeah. Also, I need to take my allergy pill.
Oh,
The asthma is getting me.
oh, yeah. Well, I'll have to take a look at my own schedule and see when I can next join. But
Yeah.
it's been very fun.
Yes. All right. I will talk to you later. And thank you to anyone who joins later and watches the, whatever you call it. Oh my goodness, I'm so tired. Words are gone. I used them all up. Anyway, bye.
Good night.